it's me again. It's Wednesday, it's lunchtime. I have just spent the morning working on God of Me. And I'm making progress. It feels good to be making progress. There's a section, I think I might have mentioned it last week, that I have been beavering away wanting to finish or complete. And it's about the three brains, because we've got three brains in our head. And the thing is, I want to explain just enough to be really clear, but not too much. And I discovered I'd gone down a rabbit hole and I'd written a whole other module of information, but it's not in the right place. So I took that out and I put it in a little posse that says I don't have a home yet. But the story is coming together. So it was good. I had a good run. And it's my writing muscle. I mean, it's work, right? And I'm kind of pleased that I can do what I just did, concentrated pretty much 3 hours. And I could tell, yeah, this is work, and I would realize that it was work, and I would just go back into it and keep going. My writing muscle is stronger than it used to be, and I'm very glad about that, because I just have this time, so I need to make the most of it. So yeah, I think next week, unless I get a go at this on Friday night, which is unlikely, or possibly on Saturday evening, next week I may very well get out of the three brains entirely. And I'm still I haven't even explained yet the difference between being in survival mode and being in creation mode. You know, am I in stress or am I in the other mode? Am I in sympathetic mode or parasympathetic mode? And how much of the science do I communicate to people who, in my mind, my target audience is people who are living maybe in really perilous or difficult situations. You know, it's like when you're that stressed, you can only learn a very little bit because the brain's not in a place to learn. There's no energy for learning. So my first priority for the people that I am going to reach with this information, and of course everybody else, is to give them just enough information to be able to get themselves out of survival. And when they're out of survival, well, then I can teach them some more and give them some more tools to understand themselves and learn better emotional regulation, which is the goal of this. You know, I have learned and gained so much from my study and continued practice of Dr. Joe Dispenza's work. It's not my work, it's his. But the science is the science, and I can present it any way I want. And so I'm doing it for the people that will never see what he offers, because they don't have a decent internet connection and they have no credit card. And, you know, I think I told a little bit of that story last week. More about it another time. The point is that I'm repurposing the science, which has been so useful to me, for an audience that currently has no access to it whatsoever. That's what God of Me is about. And the point being also that there are many people who do have access to this information, but for whatever reason, they struggle to grasp it, or they don't relate to it, or whatever. And this will be another way for a different audience to access it. People who just don't get Joe for whatever reason, but maybe they'll get it from me. And maybe, because I'm absolutely going to be pushing people towards Joe's work, because it's so much, it's totally changed my life, and I'm never going to be able to communicate all of that. And I will create tools and I will create meditations, but I'm not Joe. That's not what I'm here to do. I'm not trying to replicate him. I'm here to be me. But so it's this balance, right? And sometimes I look up a fact on the web and make sure that it's actually general knowledge, because I don't want to nick his stuff. My God, he spent his life building and developing and putting together what he's done, and I'm so grateful. So this is my contribution, is to make it available to those who will never ever see it if I don't do this. So that's the update, and a little bit about what drives me. And it does drive me, it owns me. This is my vision. Or perhaps I am its whatever, I'm its vessel. So I just keep going, one Wednesday morning at a time. And again, I want to say thank you for being my patron, for supporting me, because this is something just beginning, but it has to happen. It's my nut to crack, as somebody I told about it once said. Well, if it's your nut to crack, go do it, you know. So I am. Thank you for being with me right from the very start. Big love. I'll see you next week.